Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I just a little update here on what we've been doing. My eyes have been awakened to how bad the things that we are eating are, and I've been making, with the help of my wife and my son, trying to make better choices about what we put in our bodies to try and fuel ourselves. And been trying to go to a lot of local places, um, buying better food, okay, to say the least. There's so much processed stuff and things that we used to eat as kids. It's just terrible that it's not recognizable. And for example, I've actually been eating more bread than I usually do because we've discovered some local bake shops, the Amish bakery and things, and it tastes so much better, and it's no more expensive than what you're buying at the grocery store, and it's not spongy. Um, I've been cooking. We went to, and I need to go back, a place called the Meeting Place. Perfect name for a butcher shop. And we bought ground chuck, $7.99 a pound, about the same as it is at Walmart, but it's fresh ground chuck and it's not cut from 500 cows out raised in the field as opposed to in a factory farm. So we've been making subtle changes on things, flour, unbleached flour, and using the Yucca app to try and see what's better than others. And some things are just less worse than others. And a lot of things that you would think, when you start looking at the ketchups or you start looking at crackers and chips and they're getting zeros, you realize you're just straight putting garbage in there. Now you can go down the rabbit hole, and unfortunately I'm going down the rabbit hole and hearing that Walmart sugar has got plastic in it, plastic flakes. People are going through a colanders. I haven't tried that to see, but colanders just melting the sugar in it and being left with plastics and things in there. We do know that they put cellulose in the grated cheese to, as they say, stop it from sticking together, but it's actually a way to put more in there. One other thing I did too is I usually buy chicken breast, and you think chicken breast, hey, that's great. I usually buy the real big pack of chicken breast. And what always happens, and I don't know if you've noticed it or not, but it's almost like a soup of water or juice and stuff that's in there. And they're huge. I mean, I'm like, are these sure these are chickens and not turkeys? Now this is, and I don't know that this is any better. This is, no antibiotics ever, no hormones or steroids, no animal byproducts, excellent source of protein. They're a lot smaller. And of course they're more expensive. This is $5.49 a pound. The other one is like $4.99 a pound. So it costs more for this. But I took one of these. This is $14, is still quite a bit. And the best thing to do is buy it on sale. But I took some of this last night and just grilled it with some jerk seasoning on it. The jerk seasoning actually gets like a 78. Had some rice, and I took, here's the other thing I did too. Great source, I don't know where I put them. I was at Kroger, and they had the low salt organic beans. They were getting 100. So I took 2 cans of black beans and a can of pinto beans. I took a red pepper, an onion, and jalapeno pepper, and I put that together with a can of Rotel and some chipotle chili spice, and made like a beans, and they had strip steaks on sale for like $9.99 a pound. So we got some small strip steaks. So we sliced up the strip steaks. We ended up putting a little bit of rice. We ended up putting in the beans on top of that and some shredded lettuce and a little bit of cheese, and made like a steak bowl. When you do it that way, you don't need so much steak. and you're getting the roughage with the protein from the beans that are in there, and it helps to clean out your system. And I have to say, I feel really good. I, I'm hovering. My weight fluctuates between, like, in the morning, I believe it or not, I'm usually the heaviest. By the time I come back from work, I'm like 2 or 3 pounds below. But I was 275 back in December, and I'm hanging right around 260, which is good because I'm not hungry. The thing I always happened with me is I'd eat a candy bar, then I'd instantly want to eat another one, and just kept, just like go crazy. One other thing I also have to talk about too is, and I've told you guys, I've been doing Hinge, which is an app that you get if most of the major health carriers will end up basically paying for it. It's a free app if you're United Health or Aetna or any of the big ones, and it has stretching and exercises that are catered to what your problems are. For me, I have no ACL in my left knee and haven't since I was 18, and I am bone on bone. There's nothing in between it. I have literally ground in a socket in my lower bone, and my orthopedist for about 8 years has been saying, I got to get you to 60 before we can do a knee joint replacement. I've been doing this now. I think I've had 75 workouts. I actually went to the gym one time with my son. I need to go back again. But I am actually able to do a lot more on that knee than I had before. I've been over accentuating, like when I do my stairs, trying to bend it even more so I get a little bit more flexion in it. I used to have to go down the steps sideways because my knees just wouldn't bend. And I realized that my thighs had kind of atrophied because they had gotten used to only walking. I can walk a lot, but it's very little bending in my knee. But through doing Hinge and the exercises with it, like for example, you're doing like a plank they call a mountain climber, and you're basically pulling one knee up and then you're pulling the other knee up, but you're on, like in a push-up stance. These are been great exercises and things that I think are making a difference. And I have to say, since we've gone through and stopped eating so much of the chemicals, the processed stuff, and just being more mindful, you can't eliminate all of it because it's in everything. But I do feel better. I feel a whole lot better. And the food tastes different. It actually tastes like food. Listen, my coffee, I think it gets a 90 for my Maxwell House. Now the heavy cream, well, that is another story. Heavy cream is not great in it, but again, I've gone to, this is what's even more surprising. I usually buy the heavy whipping cream from Walmart, and it's $5.99 for a half quart. I'm sorry, for a quart. And you always think, well, Walmart's got the best price. But the Amish store, heavy cream, and does not have all the ingredients and all the processing that Walmart has on it. This is $10.99, which is 2 of those. So this is $1 less with less processing of chemicals in it. And I need to get some more. So I definitely need to go to that store today. Less chemicals, less processing and things. So that's where we are. Getting my morning coffee, and I'm going to try and drink more water throughout the day. As always, good people, I appreciate you. And I set myself a goal of getting to 250 again, which when I said that back when I was 275, seemed like it was a long, long ways ago, but right now it's like, I don't think it's that far off. And now that the weather's warming up, well, it had until today. It was 87 yesterday, and it's 39 degrees today, and the temperature's dropping with possible snow. Go figure. But with the heat and stuff coming around, maybe, just maybe, I'll get there in about a month and a half.
If it does get cold, we won't need the heater.
This is true. Peace.
We got heat.